Welcome back to another review with me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. This week I've got another bottle which hasn't been opened, which was actually gifted to me, and I thought something I've never came across or tried much of. I remember trying is it's Royal Brackla, but it's an independent bottling from Duncan Taylor. So pretty excited. It's got everything that I like in whiskey. It's cask strength. It's got an age statement on there. Nothing's been done to it. So it's unchill filtered, natural colour, ticking all these boxes. So Duncan Taylor, I've not had anything from before, so this is completely new to me. So I have a wee bit of look around what he's like. I think he came around about the 1930s, early 40s, independent bottling, and I think he's got one of the rarest cask selections out there, or oldest ownership of casks, so a lot of really old stuff, 30 and 40 years old. And the main thing that Duncan Taylor does is the Black Bull range of whiskies. So this, what I've got here that I've been gifted, is the Dimensions, which is whiskey up to 39 years old. Then they've got different names for certain ones that are over 30 years old and 40 years old and all these different brackets. So they kind of hit certain markets, price points, I think. Pretty intrigued to try this. This is a sherry cask matured. It tells me everything on here about the cask number, distilled in March of 2011 and bottled in September of 2020. So 9.5 years really, if you think it that way. Just seeing here, this is actually bottle number 3 of 258. So there's only 258 bottles, came from the cask, but it cask strength at 54.7%. So I'm expecting a nice chewy whiskey, a bit of bite to it, a bit of character, I hope. But we'll get this opened. We'll get it in the glass. The thing I like about it, it's a nice box. It came in a nice presentation in the box. Tells you the label is more or less stuck on the front, is exactly what is on the bottle. So you're able to see that without going in and having to check the bottle, what's on there. And then a little story on the back about what the dimensions is. He's based up in Huntly now, so do all their bottling up there. And then this is from Brackla Distillery, or Royal Brackla, which is in Nairn, I think, a Highland whiskey owned by Bacardi. So let's get this open. Let's see what we're going to expect from this. Oh, that's a good pop. Ooh. Nice smell straight away. There we go. Nice wee pour. Still on my whiskey ban, so it's just the whiskey I'm having is what I'm reviewing, and then my wee game at the end. So I'll get this out of the way because it's probably in the way of something. So we've got it in the glass. The colour's nice, sherry cask, all natural colour. It's not as dark as I thought it would be from sherry cask, but that doesn't mean it's going to have less taste or more taste. But let's have a wee smell. Oh, I did get a hit of alcohol, as if it was just sitting like a little layer of cloud at the top there to come out. But it's got that, it's quite tropical in nose. It's like, yeah, I'm getting a very tropical hit. Not much of the sherry. I don't know if it's the base spirit that's coming through. Slight, oh, what's that? There's like a soft cheese note to it as well. It's nice, it's not overpowering, but it's got those tropical fruits, maybe slight cheesy note, and a bit like wood, oaky, dry. It smells nice, a lot going on. We'll try it on the palate, let's see if anything changes on there. Slant you folks. There's a nice spice. It's quite warm spices, chewy. There's that wood coming through again. Like oaky wood, which is not been sanded down, quite rough in a sense, but not in a bad way. It's just, I quite like that woody note to it. Tropical in the nose, woody, a little bit spicy, but not an aggressive spice. It's soft. A little bit creamy maybe. Maybe if you poured custard or cream over your tropical fruit notes, as if that's all in there together, all mashed in. It's a lot going on. It's nice. It's not blown away. There's a lot going on with it. Something that my taste buds aren't going to, because I've never had this before either. Like, I've not experienced anything from Brackla that I remember. It's a brand new experience, but it's nice. I'll have another wee sip and see if we can get anything else. Then we'll add some water, see what we can get from that. That wood note staying there. Okay. A little bit of spice. The creamy notes coming through again. It's quite thick, it feels like syrupy, but I don't get a sweet syrup note, which you would expect from something like that. Okay, spicy, tropical fruits, a little bit cheesy, and I don't know what else. Let's get some water in this and see what it wants to open up to me. There we go. You see all that mixing in all the oils and the water. So I've got a wee thing here that I looked to try and find a little bit more that I wrote down. So he's got, Duncan Taylor has went with this octave casks that he's doing just now, which is really taking off. So it's getting put into like a 60 and 70 litre octave, so it's quite small in that sense, and then they're yielding whatever can come from that. So if you think 60 or 70 litres, it's not much in bottles, you would imagine you're going to get from it. I've seen a lot of the octave stuff, I've never bought any of it. But it's interesting, I have tried something from an octave before and I did enjoy it. The flavour was very aggressive on it. I had I think it was my Dalmore maybe, and then it was in an octave, and it was just super sweet. Like, the aggression, as if all the liquid was constantly in contact with that wood, really tight, and just so much going on, and I enjoyed it. It was just a after dinner sipper. You couldn't have a couple of drams, it was that sweet. But this here is one that would work. You would sit, it's got my mind going to try and find different flavours in here, so I'm hoping this little bit of water is going to open it up and maybe give me a different smell or taste. It's not really done as much in the nose. Still getting those same smells. Maybe that more creamy custard note is coming through. Yeah, it's a little bit sweeter now. And the tropical is still there. It's brought out, I'd say, maybe a little bit of sweetness. I can still get a cheesy note, but there's a bit more of a sweetness coming through. I would say the water's giving it a little bit, letting the spice open up a little bit more. I don't know if that's going to be the sherry that's coming through from it, but I'm definitely getting a little bit more of the spice. Not hot spice, it's still there. The oakiness has kind of disappeared. But that long, creamy, chewy palate feel is is definitely there. That syrupy kind of feel as it goes down. It's very interesting, this dram. And I think I'm going to have to get down the bottle a bit more to understand it. Maybe do a little bit of research on Brackla itself to see what their core range is like and what their tasting notes actually are, to figure out if this is anything completely different or what. But I just like to try something. I don't like to read tasting notes. I like go on my own and see what I can get. But it's very interesting. It's a really cool bottle. with the etching in here. Everything on the bottle that you need to know if you wanted to research it is all there, which I like as well. But it's been a good dram. I think there's just something that I'm missing that I can't quite put a taste bud on or a smell on, which can be frustrating at times. I get frustrated at that because I know there's something there and I'm missing it. And I feel like it's quite obvious. But maybe it's just been a tight neck pour, maybe it's just something that's, I've just poured it, I've not let it sit, and I've just went straight for it. So maybe my next dram that I pour will be, I'll let it sit for a while, and then I'll go and explore and try it and see what I can get from it. I'll have another wee sip. It's nice. Just don't know what I'm missing. It's just so syrupy, so chewy. I like that texture of it, that you know there's this going on. I like that chewy texture note. But as always now, if you hang on to the wee extra bit that I'm going to put on to try and win yourself a dram of who guessed the dram last week, just made an absolute mess of that. Goodbye. So hang on, we'll do the game and I'll say my goodbyes there. Slange. So here we are, if you've hung on to the wee extras to see if you've won the dram from last week. A few of you actually got it right, so I'm going to give you a wee change of how I'll pick winners. But the winner of last week was Petehead, who guessed the Port Charlotte 10. Mark actually guessed it right first, but I reached out to him and he was happy that I could give it to someone else. So Petehead, reach out to me and I'll get this dram to you. I'm unfortunately been so busy this week, I've not been able to get another whiskey to actually do another video of Guess the Dram, so I will make up for it next week. Do not worry about that. So stay tuned. But the new rule that I'm going to do is a game of Guess the Dram is if everyone guesses it right, I'll put everyone's name in a hat and I'll pick that out instead of being the first person, because I know everyone can't see the video straight away, and it's the people that see it straight away have always got the first opportunity. So if you guess and someone's even took your guess, say it if you want. I'll put your names in a hat. I'll do a wee draw. So we'll get back to it next week. Again, I'm sorry I've not been able to do it just now. Been super busy at work. But we will get it done. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. I might even do a little video this week. I've got a lot of empty bottles now, so I might do another wee review of what I would keep or what I would buy again. Do another wee recycled thing. So if you want me to do that, leave me a wee comment in the box below and I'll get that done throughout the week. But again, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. Enjoy me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange you, folks.